The veil of hidden laws and the call to the inner journey. Do you feel, even in silence, the call that echoes beyond the voices of everyday life? There is a subtle restlessness pulsing in your soul, a yearning to decipher what ordinary eyes cannot see. In this moment, I invite you to cross the veil of the obvious, to rest your gaze upon the mysterious architecture of the universe, where everything seems to have been woven by invisible hands. Feel the weight of time dissolving as your consciousness awakens to the possibility of a secret order, woven into the intervals of apparent chaos. From ancient bonfires to the silent altars of temples, men and women have sought answers to the enigmas of existence. Initiates, magicians, alchemists, Kabbalists, and mystics have traversed the labyrinths of the soul and the cosmos, deciphering symbols etched in stone, hidden in cards, disguised in the flight of birds, or in the cycles of the stars. They learned to read the language of silence and to hear the whispers of the universal laws, not as cold dogmas, but as maps for an inner journey. Understand that these laws were not created to imprison the being, but to liberate it. They are forgotten keys in hidden libraries waiting for those who dare to seek meaning beyond the surface. They are compasses for navigating emotional storms, for expanding consciousness to the edges of being, and above all, for mastering the energies that dance in every breath. By accepting this call, you embark on a journey of self-knowledge, a dive into the mystery of your own existence. Feel welcomed among those who, for millennia, have sought answers in the invisible. May this space serve as an invitation to look beyond the trivial, to decipher signs and to find, amidst shadows and light, the path of the magician asleep in your own heart. The esoteric origin of the laws, mysteries and traditions. You are about to walk an ancient path traced by the hands of sages lost in time, whose teachings echo like a persistent whisper through the veils of history. Feel the weight of tradition enveloping each step, as the essence of the universal laws reveals itself not as the product of a single culture, but as the fruit of a deep interweaving of roots, spread across distant civilizations and restless minds. The stones of ancient Egypt hold symbols carved for eyes capable of seeing beyond the visible. Hermeticism, born under the enigmatic name of Hermes Trismegistus, carries the secret: as above, so below. This maxim crosses centuries, passing through medieval grimoires, alchemical formulas, and Kabbalistic treatises, always pointing to a secret order pulsing beneath the chaos of appearances. It is the same truth whispered by the secret masters of Gnosticism, the Rosicrucians, the magicians of the East and West, and even the Eastern traditions that see the universe as an infinite dance of complementary energies. Imagine the hidden cycles that repeat in nature and the cosmos, the birth and death of stars, the blooming and withering of seasons, the patterns of destiny intertwined with human will. Each tradition, with its unique language, sought to decipher the matrix of existence, describing it through archetypes, symbols, legends, and practices that resist oblivion. You are not facing crystallized dogmas, but living maps, revealed in silence to those who seek with humility and reverence. Esotericism, in essence, is an invitation to penetrate the mystery, to see the underlying order in apparent chaos, and to realize that beneath the cloak of chance, there beats an intelligent, ancient, and loving heart. From this root spring all the universal laws, like a secret code, waiting for those who dare to cross the dark night of the soul and return with the gold of understanding. The invisible thread that connects everything now. Feel the silent pulse that permeates every atom, every thought, every breath, as if everything were secretly interwoven in a cosmic tapestry of hidden meanings. Unity is the mother principle of the universal laws, the primordial breath from which everything emerges and to which everything returns. You are not isolated but enveloped by an invisible ocean of consciousness, where every wave, however small, influences the tide of the whole. The illusion of separation, so dense and convincing, is merely the veil of Maya, the curtain that covers the true stage of existence. In essence, everything vibrates in unison, like threads of a single web, touching and responding through subtle synchronicities, mysterious coincidences, encounters that seem written before your birth. Like the threads of an ancient tapestry, Each is unique, but only reveals its sublime design when seen together. Reflect on your own life. Notice the signs of unity in unexpected encounters, in the repetition of situations, in symbols that appear when least expected. Observe how certain thoughts seem to echo around you, as if the entire universe were conspiring to whisper a single truth ready to be deciphered. When you suddenly feel an inexplicable peace or an unexplainable call to follow a certain path, it is unity acting, dissolving boundaries between self and other, between the visible and the invisible. Therefore, allow yourself to open the eyes of your soul and see the invisible thread that connects everything, from the smallest grain of sand to the farthest star, from your heart to the heart of the world. Thus, everyday experience ceases to be mundane and becomes a sacred dance, where every gesture, every choice, every silence is part of one grand mystery, the hidden music of the universe. Close your eyes and imagine the universe as an immense harp, where each string vibrates with a tone, a color, a secret intention. Everything that exists is, in essence, energy in motion. Even what your senses swear is solid and still. Life is silent music, a score written in frequencies, sounds, and invisible rhythms. By understanding this principle, you awaken to the magic of the everyday. Every thought is a chord, every feeling a note cast into space, echoing infinitely toward the whole. The ancients knew that sound is a creative force. The primordial mantra, Om, vibrated before the world was born. Esoteric wisdom teaches that mantras, chants, and sacred words are portals connecting the human to the divine. And not only in formal rituals, even words spoken in everyday conversation, silent thoughts, secret desires, all vibrate, shaping the field around you, attracting experiences, people, and synchronicities. Practices like herbal baths that cleanse and elevate your frequency, the use of incense and crystals, conscious music, deep meditation, all are instruments to tune your energy, bringing you back to the natural tone of your soul. The secret lies in realizing that every choice, every word, every gesture can be everyday magic, capable of transforming the environment, relationships, and destiny. For a moment, try perceiving the vibration of silence, the subtle pulse of your heart, the sound of leaves in the wind, the song of your own spirit. Elevate your thoughts, care for the words you sow, choose music that uplifts your soul. Thus you become both musician and conductor of your own reality, tuning into the universe's symphony and dancing in the frequency of the sacred. The sacred mirror, microcosm and macrocosm. Now allow yourself to look within with the same reverence with which you gaze at the starry night sky. The principle of correspondence reveals that everything outside echoes what is within, and what is above reflects what is below. As if the entire universe were a vast mirror, every inner movement manifests on the stage of the world. Every hidden desire shapes silhouettes in the events around you. Imagine the natal chart, which traces the secret lines of your soul in the celestial vault, reflecting potentials and challenges as if the entire sky lived within your chest. Observe the chakras, mandalas, the tree of life, living symbols that repeat on a smaller scale the same mysteries that govern galaxies, seasons, tides, and destinies. Nothing is random, nothing is disconnected. Every event, however trivial, is a coded message, waiting for those who dare to decipher the subtle code. Esoteric practice begins with attentive self-observation. When something bothers you in another, when situations repeat insistently, the universe is mirroring hidden patterns, inviting the transmutation of inner blockages. The world is an open oracle, a book of signs, where lessons are offered to those who wish to grow and evolve. Recognize yourself as a microcosm, a universe in miniature, dancing in harmony with the grand macrocosm. Each breath you take is part of the Earth's rhythm. Each emotion resonates in the invisible seas of the collective. When you observe yourself with truth, heal wounds, and reframe experiences, you transform the entire universe around you, and discover at last that within and without are merely facets of the same mystery. The power of rituals and will now. Feel the call to step out of the realm of ideas and firmly tread the ground of existence, where every desire only blossoms when nurtured by conscious action. In the esoteric path, wanting is not enough. It requires anchoring intention, turning dreams into gestures, thoughts into living works. Thus, understand, every act of yours is a seed planted in the invisible soil of the universe, ready to sprout according to the quality of your will, faith, and perseverance. Rituals, whether in the silent altar of your room or the simplicity of a blessed glass of water at dawn, are bridges between the invisible and the visible, between the plane of ideas and the plane of forms. They are alchemical formulas that transform intention into reality, potential into manifestation. An herbal bath, a circle of candles, a sigil drawn by hand, all can be rituals, as long as they are performed with presence, reverence, and surrender. Practical magic lies not in the objects but in the conscious gesture, in full attention to the moment, in the courage to act even when the result is not yet visible. Remember, small, repeated actions create great energetic transformations. A simple daily thank you, a gratitude journal, the discipline of keeping your home harmonious, or caring for a plant with affection, all are rituals, manifestations of deep will. By acting, you tell the universe, I trust, I am a co-creator of my story. Do not fear the power of everyday gestures. They are true magic, the bricks of destiny. The secret lies in acting with clarity, presence, and intention, knowing that every movement, however simple, reverberates in the invisible field and builds, little by little, the bridge between desire and reality. Esoteric karma and the law of return. Let the wisdom of time unveil before your eyes. Everything you send out into the universe sooner or later returns, carrying lessons, blessings, or challenges. The principle of cause and effect is the thread that weaves all destinies, the subtle mathematics governing the invisible patterns of karma. Here, karma is neither punishment nor reward but energy in circulation. Each thought, word, and act creates waves that expand beyond the present, returning with precision to their point of origin. See how life, in its apparent randomness, repeats situations, encounters, and farewells until you grasp the hidden message in each cycle. Destinies intertwine, synchronicities occur, people return as mirrors of unfinished lessons. With every decision, every choice, the universe responds, creating new opportunities for balance to be restored, for the soul to grow, and for consciousness to expand. Act, therefore, with presence and respect. Sow what you wish to reap, knowing that every action, however subtle, leaves a mark on the fabric of the invisible. When you understand the law of return, a new sense of responsibility arises. You become a magician of yourself, careful with every word, attentive to every gesture, aware that everything returns in mysterious cycles, teaching, realigning, purifying. And if something returns in the form of pain, do not fear. Embrace it as a teacher, listen to the message, transform the energy, and move forward. Thus karma dissolves, life renews, and the dance of existence becomes ever more lucid and loving, an eternal invitation to presence and the conscious construction of your own destiny. Compensation and balance. The path of the just measure. Allow the image of a sacred scale to occupy your thoughts, an eternal symbol, held in the altars of ancient Egypt under the serene gaze of Ma'at, goddess of justice and harmony. The entire universe breathes through balance, and every movement of yours creates waves that tirelessly seek the exact point of compensation. Herein lies the secret of the esoteric path. The just measure, the point of peace between giving and receiving, light and shadow, impulse and restraint. The Tao of yin-yang teaches that everything contains its opposite, and the magician's path is to seek the center of the mandala, where all opposites meet. It is not about nullifying desires or emotions, but integrating them, allowing excess to be softened by absence, action balanced by retreat, enthusiasm tempered by patience. The universe responds to every imbalance with a subtle call to return to the axis. Observe how, in your life, there are cycles of abundance and scarcity, expansion and contraction, encounters and farewells. Harmony arises when you accept the flow, do not cling to extremes, and learn to reap the fruit at the right time. The secret is to practice gratitude, recognize beauty even in moments of apparent lack, and trust that everything is being compensated, realigned, renewed, according to an invisible mathematics that cares for every detail. Balancing oneself is an art learned in silence, in the space between one thought and another, in the moment you choose the right word or offer a gesture of kindness. Life returns, in exact measure, everything you offer to the world. Trust. By seeking the just measure in all things, you align with the universe's deep flow, becoming a channel for harmony, healing, and renewal. Attraction and magnetism. The auric field and the power of intention. Feel yourself enveloped by an invisible light, an aura pulsing around your body like a magnetic field sensitive to every emotion, thought, and desire. You are a center of energy, emitting frequencies that cross distances, pierce the walls of time, and touch everything around you. The law of attraction, when understood through the esoteric lens, reveals that you do not attract only with words or stray thoughts, but with the entire quality of your inner vibration. Notice how often opportunities, people, and challenges arise in your life as a direct response to the energy you emanate, even unconsciously. Mysterious encounters, coincidences that seem scripted by a higher force, doors that open or close, all reflect your personal magnetism. This is not simple magic, but a science of the soul. What you feel, deeply desire, or intensely fear projects into the auric field and returns as experience. The secret is to care for this field, cleansing it of emotional residues, limiting beliefs, and intrusive energies. Practices like herbal baths, guided meditations, the use of crystals, sigils, and talismans are not mere symbolic rituals, but tools to strengthen magnetism, refine frequency, and align intention with the heart. When mind and feeling walk together, the universe responds, bringing what is truly necessary for your growth. Cultivate pure, clear, and luminous intention. Visualize yourself enveloped in golden light, protecting and attracting only what aligns with your essence. Thus you discover that you are the magician of your own destiny, capable of magnetizing miracles, encounters, and opportunities, as long as your field's vibration is true and coherent. The universe responds to your inner truth, and life then reveals itself as a mirror of your power of attraction. Transmutation. Inner alchemy and the metamorphosis of the self. Imagine yourself in an alchemical laboratory, surrounded by the scent of herbs and the soft glow of crystals, where the true work happens not in vials but within the depths of the soul. The principle of transmutation is the golden key of inner alchemy, the certainty that no energy is final or static, and that you, as both magician and apprentice, have the power to transform shadows into light, weight into lightness, limitation into potential. Life offers at every moment opportunities to practice this metamorphosis. When anger threatens to ignite your heart, you can, through a simple act of consciousness, channel it into creative action. Fear, instead of paralyzing, can become fuel to dare, risk, and grow. Sadness, when embraced with compassion, becomes a source of sensitivity and deeper understanding of others and yourself. Like an alchemist, you learn to identify dense metals, resentments, grudges, frustrations, and with dedication, patience, and self-love, begin the process of refinement, turning psychic lead into the gold of awakened consciousness. Transmutation practices are simple but require courage. Writing feelings in a letter and burning it under the moonlight, breathing deeply while imagining golden light purifying every cell, transforming obsessive thoughts into positive mantras, replacing inner criticism with affirmations of power. These are small yet powerful rituals, capable of altering frequency and opening new doors in daily experience. Remember, true alchemy does not demand perfection, only the willingness to transform. You are the laboratory and the alchemist, the raw material and the result. By practicing transmutation, your life becomes a living work of art, eternally in process, revealing new colors, new forms, new possibilities of being. Polarity and relativity. The game of opposites and the magician's gaze. Observe the world around you and notice how everything pulses in pairs. Night and day, heat and cold, joy and sorrow, doubt and certainty. The principle of polarity reveals that nothing exists in an absolute state. Everything manifests in spectrums, and every quality carries the seed of its opposite. Esoteric wisdom lies in learning to dance with these extremes, to embrace light and shadow, joy and pain, masculine and feminine not as enemies but as allies in the soul's maturation process. When you accept the existence of opposites and allow yourself to experience both, you find the point of balance, the magician's gaze that observes without identifying, that understands the relativity of every experience. A challenge, when viewed through the lens of consciousness, may reveal itself as a disguised gift. Pain, when embraced, can become a source of strength, empathy, and growth. The secret is not to eliminate shadows, but to illuminate them with presence and love, recognizing that every part of you composes the mosaic of the integral self. Practice letting go of rigid judgment. Allow yourself to see each situation from different angles, and realize that truth is not fixed but mutable like light passing through a prism. Life is a game of opposites, and the true magician knows how to navigate the tides of emotions, thoughts, and events, always finding the center of the mandala, the point of peace where everything integrates, where chaos reveals its own order. By developing this broad perspective, you learn to transform conflicts into opportunities, endings into beginnings, losses into openings for the new. Thus, the esoteric journey becomes less arduous and more magical, guided by a deep understanding that everything is relative, transient, and at the same time, sacred in its transience. Rhythm, cycles, and the dance of life. Synchrony with the cosmos. Let yourself be cradled by the eternal movement of life, which pulses in waves, cycles, and sacred rhythms. Everything in nature obeys an invisible rhythm. The phases of the moon succeed one another. The tides rise and fall. The seasons change. Life is born, grows, withdraws, and is reborn. The principle of rhythm invites you to recognize and honor the universe's dance, accepting that nothing remains the same, that everything has its time to bloom, withdraw, rest, and awaken again. Observe how your own body carries natural rhythms, the beating of the heart, the flow of breath, the sleep cycle, the energy fluctuations throughout the day, the moods that shift like the weather. Every experience follows its own cycle. Relationships, projects, challenges, and joys come and go, teaching the art of impermanence. Esoteric wisdom lies in tuning into these rhythms, knowing when to act and when to be still, when to plant and when to harvest, when to seek company and when to retreat into sacred solitude. Create your own rituals to mark beginnings, endings, and significant transitions. Celebrate the changing of seasons, the anniversaries of the soul, the moments of passage. Use meaningful dates to align intention and action, to renew commitments to yourself and the universe. Honoring cycles is understanding that life is made of movements, that the flow never stops, and that resisting the natural rhythm only brings exhaustion and misalignment. When you learn to flow with the dance of life, you discover the power of patience, trust, and surrender. There is no eternal winter nor endless summer. Each phase brings gifts and lessons. Each cycle prepares the ground for the next harvest. Tuning into the cosmos is surrendering to the wisdom of change, becoming little by little a finely tuned instrument for the great symphony of the universe. Synthesis and call to esoteric practice. Now, take a deep breath and let all the keys received throughout this journey echo within you like reverberations from an ancient temple, where each universal law is a door to deeper realities. Understand, knowing is not enough. You must experience. The universal laws are not cold concepts or distant words. They are living maps, ready to be applied in daily life, tools of power for those who choose to live with intention, consciousness, and reverence for the mystery. Choose one of these laws that most resonated in your heart. Perhaps it is the vibration that calls for new music in your soul, the unity that reveals the hidden meaning of coincidences, the transmutation that challenges you to turn pain into strength, or the Polarity that teaches you to embrace your light and shadow without fear. Se esta mensagem tocou sua alma, se você sente o chamado para ir além do véu do óbvio, inscreva-se agora no canal. Deixe seu like para fortalecer este círculo de buscadores e compartilhe nos comentários qual lei universal mais ressoou em seu coração. Sua participação é o sopro que mantém viva a chama do conhecimento oculto. Juntos, seguimos despertando o mago interior e expandindo a consciência para além das aparências. Translation to English. If this message touched your soul, if you feel the call to go beyond the veil of the obvious, subscribe to the channel now. Leave your like to strengthen this circle of seekers and share in the comments which universal law resonated most in your heart. Your participation is the breath that keeps the flame of hidden knowledge alive. Together, we continue to awaken the inner magician and expand consciousness beyond appearances.